gather tonight to pay tribute to the Lubavitcher Rebbe, his life, and his legacy. There are over hundreds of books on his scholarly teachings, 35 books alone on his letters and correspondences. 3 biographies were just released, one of them a New York Times bestseller, with countless stories of the individuals whose lives he touched. My name is Tiffany Greenberg, and I'm standing here before you tonight because my own life was shaped by the Rebbe, literally. 11 years ago, my husband and I packed up our apartment in Brooklyn, New York, capital of the Jewish world, and together with our 10-month-old son, we said goodbye to our family, our friends, our community, the Jewish school I worked at, the kosher grocery, the abundance of kosher restaurants, and everything we had grown up with, everything with which we were familiar and with which we were perfectly at home. And we moved across the country to Vancouver, Washington, a city that's foreign even to you Portlanders. We knew the name of exactly 3 Jewish families, and we also knew that Vancouver had none of those things that we had left behind. But we came with a purpose, a goal, and a vision. We were hardly pioneers. My husband has siblings who had packed their bags and moved to places like Shanghai, China, Anchorage, Alaska, Odessa, Ukraine, Germany, France, El Paso, Texas. The list goes on. He has 17 siblings. The same month that we moved here, my brother and his family moved out to Helsinki, Finland. I have a sister in Michigan and another brother in Australia. Why? We come from a very loving home, I promise. So what made us open a map, find a remote location relative to Brooklyn, and move to a new city with a one-way ticket and forever calling this place home? Because we wanted to be part of the purpose, the goal, and the vision of the Rebbe. To give every individual and family, no matter where, no matter how far, the ability to enhance their awareness, their experience, and their practice of Judaism. And the Rebbe showed us by example just how. Every Sunday, he used to stand for hours outside his office while thousands of people would pass by him. He would hand each person $1 and often engage in a short conversation with them. Each year before my birthday, I waited online to see the Rebbe. He handed me $1 and also wished me a good and successful year. His $1 was intended for me to share, to give to charity. From my young age, he encouraged my hand to be a giving hand, to make not only the spiritual needs, but also the material needs of another person my responsibility. Immediately upon arriving in Vancouver, we made children's programs our priority. We opened a day camp, and a few years later, the Don Garrett preschool. Why? Because that's what the Rebbe showed us. When I was a child, a few times a year, our school field trips were to gatherings, special rallies that the Rebbe had made just for kids. Here was a man who met with heads of state and counseled world leaders. Yet he took the time, hours actually, to speak with and meet with us young children. He wasn't just investing in the Jewish future, he truly valued the young child and believed the power that even small children have to tip the world scale towards good. Today, the Chabad Jewish Center in Vancouver is housed in a beautiful 9,000 square foot building. There are 18 children in our preschool, 37 kids signed up for summer camp, 120 people celebrated the holiday of Shavuos just a few weeks ago, and on Saturday, some 40 of us will celebrate a community member's birthday at the Kiddush following Shabbat services. We're still waiting for a kosher restaurant, yet it's no longer Brooklyn, but rather Vancouver that we call home. In our center's lobby, under a picture of the Rebbe's heartwarming smile and piercing blue eyes, a plaque reads, "The Rebbe's dedication to Jewish continuity, his unconditional love for humanity, and his vision of a world perfected are the inspiration of all the programs and activities at the Chabad Jewish Center." It's that same inspiration that drives the rabbis and families at the 3,500 Chabad centers that serve college campuses, suburban communities, and city centers across the globe. The Rebbe shaped our lives by kindling our spark. We are dedicated to passing that forward until every spark has been kindled, illuminating the world in our collective flame. 30 years ago, Rabbi Moshe and Deborah Wilhelm were appointed by the Lubavitcher Rebbe as his emissaries to the state of Oregon. Under Rabbi Wilhelm's leadership, Chabad has grown to be the largest provider of Jewish services in Oregon. They oversee Maimonides Jewish Day School, Mikveh Shoshana, and 9 full-time Chabad centers across the state. Please welcome Rabbi Moshe Wilhelm.